Yeah, okay. Picture this, a classroom full of students, completely engaged, excited, and ready to learn. It truly is every teacher's dream. I'm currently celebrating my 20th anniversary in the field of education, and it is crazy how much things have changed. However, I still distinctly remember my very first interview question, and it was, what can you coach? Now, the second question I was asked was, what does your ideal classroom look like? And behind me, that was kind of my ideal. It looked like this, a computer with a projector, and it would have internet, and I would be able to make all of these real-world connections with all of my students. I knew at the time the power of technology, and I was excited about sharing it with all of my classes. The principal listened politely, he nodded, and then he walked me to my classroom to show me what it would look like, and yeah. So this isn't my actual classroom in that actual school, but it might as well be. There was no computer, there was no projector, there was no internet, there was nothing. I wouldn't have that dream technology set up for almost a decade into my teaching career. Fast forward to classrooms today, and they're not only outfitted with projectors and computers and internet, but smartboards and Chromebooks and iPads, and best of all, students are walking in with these devices in their pockets and book bags. And the ability to use technology for student learning has never been easier. But how do we use it productively to alternatively assess and differentiate for students to bring out their best? Now, before I go on, I have to back up a little bit. I'm the youngest of 6 kids. My mom stayed at home. My dad was an educator. And what we may have lacked in money, it was made up high and low in high expectations. No whining, never any excuses. And I constantly was hearing my mom say to me that school is just a perseverance contest. I needed to just show up and do what I was told because it's not how smart you are, it's how you're smart. And I not only took those words and resonated through me, I researched and took them to heart in the classroom, constantly trying to find new ideas to help my students figure that out about themselves. Now, if you ever get a chance to go on YouTube and watch the process that Anne Sullivan uses to teach Helen Keller how to speak her first words, I strongly recommend it. It is unbelievable how she figures out how to place Helen's fingers in such a way that she is able to feel the vocal cords, the nasal cavity, and the lip movement simultaneously, and then combine all of these feelings to create words. Now, her first word, blending 2 little sounds, it and t, to form the word it, is remarkable. Her first sentence, I am not dumb now, that's the powerful one. While the literal sense of the word is being used in this statement, it rings true in today's interpretation of dumb in classrooms every single day. And much like Anne Sullivan having to continuously evolve, figuring out how to help Helen Keller communicate, educators are responsible for figuring out how to help their students succeed in ways that show them in their best possible light. More importantly, allowing students the freedom to experiment with different learning modalities, as well as a variety of expression, can help foster this discovery. I often feel if we give students more freedom in showing us what they know in ways that they're most comfortable showing us, they might just surprise us. And while I was explaining this concept to a group of teachers at a conference, I jumbled over my words. It was completely an embarrassing moment, but I've kind of embraced this word that I've come up with, freativity, combining freedom and creativity. Really, it's just freedom for students to create in order to show us what they know. Now, one caveat I've encountered is the fear of the unknown, and it's true in both teachers and students. Students don't know what they don't know, and when they're given the opportunity to create freely, there's a sudden case of creator's block. But all it takes are baby steps to bridge the gap from complete frustration to successfully embracing this creativity opportunity. It's all about giving students choices, because as like Forrest Gump says, life really is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Students often surprise themselves when they stumble upon something they didn't know they were good at, and we all know that once we figure out something that we're good at, we typically like that something. And it truly is all about giving students full creativity and choices to explore ways and showing us what they're good at. Now, digital natives, you've heard of this term, I'm sure. Students have grown up with digital tools their entire lives. They can automatically speak this digital language. But I'm here to tell you it's not entirely the case. While they're not afraid of technology like digital immigrants, they don't always know enough to use technology to successfully demonstrate understanding of a concept. But they're good at one thing, and that's social media. They're experts at it. Since they're experts, this is the perfect way to take content and allow them to use their expertise to demonstrate that knowledge of their content. How about a book snap? Take a picture of a book excerpt, annotate it on Snapchat. Take, for instance, 3rd grade endangered species reports. While the fundamentals of research, writing, and reporting are all very important in the education process, there's definitely a way to make things come to life. enter the face swap type app where you can put your mouth on any object. There's nothing better than a third grade giggling their way through a report on the panda while trying not to stick out their tongue. Math, my favorite subject. It was that first job interview. I often found it difficult to know exactly how students were solving problems when just looking at their paper and pencil, so it wasn't long until I was allowing them to record themselves. While I told them I was a mind reader from time to time, videos definitely made things crystal clear for me. As you can see here in the video math problems, the bottom being kindergarten, just using paper and pencil but recording themselves, up to desktop screencasting for fourth graders, it shows their thought process, and best of all, they can share their successful videos with each other. Now, art class, how about placing yourself into your own artwork? Students aren't only creating masterpieces, they're having to plan their project around themselves as a main subject in their work. And this is all made possible with just the very lowest level of green screen technology and an iPad. Now, an eye-opening activity that we've implemented in the past year across all curricular areas in Tuscola classrooms is Breakout EDU. If you've never participated in an escape room, I highly recommend it. I'm looking at you, Adventures in Time and Space. And if you have, you'll know that this is a way to incorporate teamwork and problem solving into an immersive curriculum-based activity that allows students who might tackle problems in different ways to shine. And, experiences stick, and by allowing students to use technology to create some of these experiences, you have what I like to refer to as technology Velcro. But it isn't always about technology or even social media. It's about a mindset that shifts the learning and growth to the students through use of Freativity. Thank you.